The applicant is seeking permission to install a carport for additional storage. Again, 12 by 24. So the variance basically is about approximately 15 feet and then 33 feet because it's supposed to meet the setbacks of the primary structure. At the time, or I guess at the time the report was written, I hadn't heard anything, but then yesterday I received a call from the neighbor to the west, and she voiced her support of the variance application. I don't really have much else. The site plan here shows that 12 by 24 dimension along the east side of the garage. I don't really think I have anything else to discuss on this one. Staff recommends approval of the variance request as presented. Happy to take any questions. The applicant is also in attendance tonight.
I have one question. What does our code say on, or will this be a poured floor, a concrete floor and concrete driveway? I know it's gravel there today.
I'm Marshall Hildreth, and possibly later on that it might be concreted underneath the port. It's from the garage to the sidewalk is 30 feet. You know, we went out there and made sure we measured it, and I had taken down a pin oak tree that was 100 feet tall. And at the base, and I took
You did a
some
lot of work
pictures.
on that.
And at the base of that thing was 12 feet.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
And it went over the sidewalk, it went over all the power lines, went over to our house, and they were all splitting. And in the past, whoever had lived there had been taken limb by limb down. It's like, I'm not gonna chase this thing, you know? And so we went ahead and just took the whole thing out and figured it would be a lot safer because all the electric and everything that comes into that house, well, of course, the sewer comes out the front, but is on the west side of the house, so there wouldn't be any issues with any utilities or anything. Putting up the carport on the side of the road.
What's the code on the gravel versus concrete?
I mean, all spaces are supposed to be paved, but I'm not sure how long this was existing. I'm not sure that
It's
Tim.
been there for a while, so
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion.
I move that we approve the carport as it states there. And I know that it's been gravel there for a while, but in the future, it'd be great if there was gravel. But I approve that the variance for the carport.
Real quick, I think that, should we open this up to public hearing? Does anybody have any?
That's my dad.
He's with him.
Okay,
They came
perfect. I
in
just want to make
together.
sure we didn't have any.
Yes.
No, thank you, appreciate
I hope
that.
we're on the same
Myself at the end of this, so
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure before we made that
I appreciate
second
that,
and
thank you.
motion.
I saw them walk in together talking.
Okay.
I will second the motion.
Thank you. Then call for the vote, please.
Whalen?
Yes.
Zulish?
Yes.
Bash?
Yes,
Hoover?
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank
The
you.
motion-
Just apply for a building permit with Tim.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry.
Just apply for a building permit with Tim in our office, and then
Okay.
you'll be on your way.
All right, thank you.
That brings us to the second case, which is to consider variance request from Sandquist Investments LLC at 203 South D Street to permit an accessory structure that would not meet required setbacks. Bill?
Thank you. The applicant in this case is Sandquist Investment LLC. The variance is from 16504. It's the same code requirement from the last case, which states that accessory buildings and structures within 10 feet of the primary structure has to meet those same setback requirements. The parcel currently has a single-family residence on it. I didn't change that second line. It has I believe it has a shed on it, not a garage. The parcel is zoned R2, and the applicant wishes to place a detached accessory structure, a garage in the northwest corner of that lot. That garage is approximately 20 by 24, has a little notch in it to kind of fit where the house goes. The existing house does not meet the rear yard setback requirement. It does meet the front yard, though. The proposed garage will be 6 feet from the house, 4 feet from the north property line, and 2 feet from the west property line. the standard setback requirement for accessory structures, when it does have that 10-foot separation, is 5 feet. So it deviates a little bit from the standard setback anyway, but because the house is within 6 feet of that primary structure, those 35-foot setback requirement and the 8-foot side yard setback requirement are not being met in this case. Here's a site plan of, I didn't put the notch in the red, but kind of a general vicinity of where the proposed garages will be located. The property is located mid-block on the west side of D Street between West First Avenue and West Second Avenue. The lot's 80 by 140, approximately, has a little notch there in the southwest corner, just about a quarter of an acre. There's the site plan for the house that shows that little notch and its dimensions. The beacon lines are off slightly, so it looks like it's more than 2 feet from that back line, but once you adjust for the computer technology, it's about 2 feet. I've not received any correspondence against this request. Neighboring notices were sent out by the deadline, and I've not received anything from any neighbors that were sent the notification. The garage is about 13 by 24. I don't have much else to discuss. Staff recommends approval of this variance request. Happy to take any questions.
Is there anybody here with questions or comments?
Do you have a question?
No, he's related to the project, so if you have any questions for
Okay.
him or I.
No, it's an old part of town that it didn't meet the variances anyway.
Right.
I mean,
If the house met the front yard setback instead of the rear, then the garage would be
in the wrong.
fine. It could be movable.
And is there another shed there today?
It is like a 6x8 tin shed, garden shed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and they'll
So
still
that
be,
would go away.
that'll go away?
Yeah, it's currently in the place where this garage would go.
Okay.
Okay,
And then behind the garage, it looked like it's another garage right back, probably with a 2-foot variance on the other side of you too, right behind the house.
Not quite. I would say we're kind of off catty corner from that other garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's not quite as close, but pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
From the road, they look pretty close,
I think that other garage probably meets a 5-foot setback.
not the 2-foot.
So there is room for instance, a fire truck to get in there if needed?
And where?
In between the neighboring garage and the new garage that you plan to
There's a
build?
fence running down the middle.
Okay.
So, no.
So, okay, gotcha,
right.
gotcha.
Any other questions, comments? Then let's call for the vote, or make a motion, please.
I make a motion that we approve the building of the garage.
Thank you. Second? Thank you, Deidre, and call for the vote.
Whalen?
Yes,
Fulich?
Yes?
Ash?
Yes.
Hoover?
Yes.
And that passes as well, which brings us to our third case.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So make sure you apply for a building permit with building department.
Yes, sir.
Anyway.
Okay, thank you. Our third case is to consider a variance request from Clinton Beneke at 101 Apple Circle, to permit an accessory structure that would not meet required setbacks, and to permit a driveway expansion that exceeds maximum allowable width. Bill?
Thank you. The applicant in this case is Clinton and Rebecca Beneke at 101 Apple Circle. It's lot 34 of Apple Valley Estates Plat 2, located south of Orchard Avenue and west of North Jefferson Way. I'll go back to that slide in a minute, but the property is where'd it go? 98 by 140, kind of a typical corner lot in a cul-de-sac. It has a little bend out there at the corner. The property is zoned R1, 13,720 square feet. Currently has a single-family dwelling and an attached 3-car garage. There is an additional paved concrete wing there to the northwest of the house. The current width of the driveway opening at the street is about 31 feet, and then the driveway within the site, about 47 feet. Also attached, or also on the property is a detached accessory structure from 2021, and that's 140 square feet. That, as part of this project, that accessory structure would go away. The applicant wishes to remove the existing shed and construct a detached garage about 948 square feet, and then install an additional 432 square feet of pavement to access that garage. The garage would be about 6 feet away from the primary structure, triggering that setback requirement of the primary structure, so 35 feet from the rear, and then 8 feet from the side. It's obviously doesn't meet that 35-foot setback requirement, but it does meet the 8-foot from the side. The site plan here shows those dimensions, and it does show that 5-foot setback proposed on the south and the west lot lines. The applicant is requesting 2 variances tonight, one for the setback requirements and the other for added concrete. Code permits for one additional concrete parking wing to the driveway. Since the applicant has one on the property already, he's asking for another one to be able to access the proposed garage. Mailings were sent out by the deadline, and I've received numerous correspondence, both for and against the request. I'll go to the letter in favor of the request is from the owner of 1502 Apple Drive, and then the owners of 100 Orchard Circle, 1409 Apple Drive, and 105 Apple Circle have corresponded against the request. This is kind of a drawing that was provided to show sort of a sketch of what it looked like at street level. And then here kind of shows the garage dimensions with the site plan from that's provided on the Beacon website. So it kind of shows the whole layout of what the parcel would look like. Here are the codes related to the accessory structures. I don't really think I have much else to discuss here. If you take any questions, talking with Tim Little, our building official, it was recommended to recommend approval of this variance. Happy to take any questions. So I believe the applicant is in attendance tonight, as well as some of the neighbors. So happy to take any questions, and I'll open it up to the applicant to speak.
Any questions before we?
So it's
open
2
it?
variances. It's really, the concrete that it's looking for is for a double wide besides what's already there.
Let me take this. Ma'am, Clinton Beneke, owner of the house. This is actually a little wrong. I'm not trying to go double wide of mine. Happened when I brought Tim out to look at my drawing. I think he might have misunderstood what I'm doing, but I don't know if you want me to show you on this one or this one.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just looking to pour, kind of like, it'll come actually over here, but a little bit forward and then an angle to what I already have.
And I tell you what, so the people in the gallery can see,
Oh, I'm
maybe
sorry.
go to this one over here.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Good.
And I know I've talked to Bob about how this is laid out, but it's gonna be over here, it's gonna come up and it's just gonna cut over to where the trailer parking is right now. And,
So you're requesting a variance for concrete to go west? I'm gonna say left.
yeah, this is.
Left
that's-
of that
that's left for
line.
me, but yeah. When I
Closer
brought,
to the lot line.
yeah, when I brought Tim out, he said because I poured this pad for my camper before 2019 when the 10-foot wing was allowed, it became law. Since it was 15 and now I'm doing something, he told me I needed to apply for a variance for the additional foot because I'm doing something, so that's where that one came in.
And the other structure that you have on your property is going to be removed.
Yeah, there's a shed right underneath the red spot here that is gonna go away, yeah.
So technically, you will have one accessory building.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
In
so
addition to the attached garage.
in addition to the 3-car attached garage.
I'm a hobby mechanic person, so I needed a place. I have some cars in storage. I want to get them a place I can store them and work on them. And right now I have 4 cars on my driveway, and that would bring me down to like 2 at most on the driveway.
Still in the driveway even after the shed?
Yeah, I'm a car guy, sorry. But they're new. I got 2 kids. They drive, so in a couple of years, hopefully I go down and not.
So who's there, the two cars right out, I used to live on a cul-de-sac, who are the two cars out on the circle?
Those are Bob's son's car.
Okay,
And
I'm
I
just
think
wondering,
his-
I used
his
to live
daughter
on a
car.
cul-de-sac, so I know what it's like.
Yeah, we sometimes do, Bob. Bob usually's got his son's car here, and then sometimes we park a car here, but I think that's in your daughter's white Buick, I think, or something like that. Is that like your
Just was
daughter's
wondering.
white car?
I don't know whose that is.
That-
Must have
That's
been there
okay,
that day, I don't recognize the car.
None of my cars.
that's okay, it's all right, we get the idea. Any other questions from the panel? Comments or questions from our audience?
Hi, Barb and Rich Ramus. We reside at 1409 North Apple Drive. So our property in this picture is the one that's at the bottom. What doesn't show in the diagram is our property sits higher than theirs. There's a hill there. And so from inside of our house, the kitchen has 4 windows. Whenever we're in the kitchen, we're looking down exactly at that property, and then out on our deck, which you can see, we also look down. So with the view and the obstruction, we would be opposed to the size of the structure, how close it is, the amount of concrete, what it does to our view, and potentially, when we sell, people would see that amount of structures there. And this is a question from me. It was my understanding in reading some things that 2 structures were allowed. So although they're saying that they would take away the shed, does code permit for that to come back? To have 2 structures?
You can have multiple structures up to a certain square footage, yes.
So I think we're concerned that, I appreciate that the shed is going away in what they're proposing, but I think that code would allow them to bring it back in addition to the size of the new structure and the additional concrete. And I submitted an email and a couple photos to try to clarify what I was talking about.
Yes,
Any
we've received.
questions for us?
With the new shed going up and housing some of the things that are maybe in your view out of your window, will that, for lack of a better word, will that clean up your view, having?
I don't know their intentions of what will go where, and I don't think that there's anything that requires them by code or anything to move anything that's currently outside into the new structure. So I don't know. Anything else for me?
No, thank you.
Bob?
Good evening, I'm Bob Ormsby, 105 Apple Circle, so I am the house just directly west right here. I was wondering if we can bring up the other aerial that I kind of produced that probably shows the proposed structure more accurately on the site. It'd be the site aerial that you got.
Oh, I didn't put that in.
You guys received that in
did.
your letters. So as you realize, this is, first of all, we understand why the Benekes originally asked for this variance, because this is an unusual site. It's on a cul-de-sac, and the way the lots are configured is very strange. As you could see from that site plan I gave you, my front yard is only 5 foot in front of his rear property line. So his full lot sits almost completely in front of my house. So his whole lot, rear, side, and front, abut my front yard almost, within 5 feet. It becomes a very unusually strange condition, where out my front yard, I could see a 20-foot tall structure sitting 5 feet from my property line in my front yard. It does not seem like it meets the intent of the zoning ordinance as it's stated. Because if you can imagine, a standard street, straight lines, 30-foot setback, you can't build anywhere in front of it. So everybody has a clean view up and down the street, uninterrupted, nothing obstructing you. So I think in the site drawings you saw that I presented, It would give a clear obstruction, kind of my view up front yard. It also, if someone across the street, just to the north of us, did the same thing, and I think I showed you a drawing of that, they might be even a worse situation where they're looking diagonally right out the front door at a big garage. So the first thing I want to say is I understand why he's asking, because they're regular areas of the site, because if he had to be closer than 10 feet, he couldn't build anything because there's no, the front and rear yard collapse. There's no depth there. The question I have is why he can't be 10 feet, why he's asking to be closer than 10 feet. And the only reason I can suspect, when you look at the drawing, is that if he's 6 foot away, he can get a 3-car garage to fit here. If he's 10 feet, he's gonna get a 2-car garage. That's really where this 4 feet, I think, is playing into play, why he's asking for 6 versus 10. So that's, to me, the reasoning for the 6 foot. I can, that's just my opinion, so. The garage is showing about 20, little over 20 feet to the peak. It's got taller walls than the rest of the garages by a couple feet. The big thing I'm having concern with is the widening of the drive extension. I really don't understand the justification for the variance. If this was a straight lot and you were asking for it, why would, if he's already had an extension, the wing's already been provided, why are we giving him another 25 feet of pavement across the front lawn to access this 3-car garage? So I'm really I just don't understand the reasoning, why that would be accepted, because I just don't understand the justification. As I said, it's an undesirable view. I think it can affect the future sale of my home. It can affect the future sales of other homes if this thing is overdeveloped. And that's what I feel is happening here. This thing's being developed beyond what it should be. This neighborhood and circle has primarily 2- and 3-car garages. To propose putting 2 to 3 times the amount of garage stalls on the same lot seems excessive. It seems to be crowded. And I think I sent you another image that showed you if we all did that around this cul-de-sac, it'd be solid, massive buildings. So we just have a real problem with the scale of this thing. And that's our biggest issue. Let me just keep going here. I think the other issue is that, there was a remark made by the Benekes about screening. They're putting in 5 foot from the property line, they could plant bushes. Well, you're not gonna plant bushes 20 foot high in a 5 foot depth space. It's never gonna happen, it'll never be screened. It's just not gonna happen. The thing's always gonna be visible. So, I guess, simply put, we just think this is kind of a grossly overdeveloped idea for this site, the scale of this site and the scale of the neighborhood. I just feel it's just kind of out of touch a little bit, so. I will offer this as another option if Benekes are interested, but I feel like I understand the variance, and I could be willing to accept the variance, but it would have to be with some constraints, meaning he could build a attached 1-car garage instead of 6 feet away. And so taking the variance and being closer than 10 feet, build a garage, a 4th garage next to the 3rd, as a 1-stall garage, to me seems more in scale proportion to the building. It would not allow him to have to add more paving, because the pavement extension he did of 15 feet from the garage could be his drive to that garage. So we're not adding any more pavement to the site. So it just, to me, has a little more minimal impact, for the development. So those are in summary of my comments, so.
Thank you very much. Are there other comments?
Can I answer his question?
Sure.
So I'm not gonna tell him he's wrong. As I said, hobby lobbyist. I kind of want, the reason I'm going 6 more foot is it looks room. Can I show you these other drawings I did? I didn't get them in with the packet. I did them a little later. I tried to send them in, but this is a drawing of 34 foot. That's the 4 extra feet I'm asking into my variance, and this is a drawing of the garage at 30 foot. There's just, as a mechanic working on my stuff, a little bit more room to move around. This is all I'm asking for, is 34 foot. I can make that 30 foot garage fit within my setbacks. talking with Tim, he's saying he was the one that said if you were doing a variance, maybe ask for 1 more square foot. We're both car guys, we talked back and forth, I said that kind of makes sense. I was just kind of asking for it. Yes, I mean, concrete is there, he said before in requirements, if there's a building on the lot, you have to have concrete to get to it. So that's where I was asking for that extra bit that's already there.
This might be something to show the gallery.
Bill, would you reconfirm, how many garages can you have within city limits?
Attached or detached?
Either.
Attached, there's no requirement as long as it's meets the setback requirements for the primary structure.
Okay.
Detached, you can have 2 accessory structures up to, I think,
1,800 square feet.
1,800 square feet.
I know that number. But it doesn't matter how many garage doors? I thought there was a code to that.
There's a few things else I want to point to. Yes, I was working with them to try to put bushes around, down the street, Apple Drive. There's a house on a lot and he's got what looks like 20-foot tall bushes. I didn't measure them. I didn't know. I should have, but those were the kind of things we're looking. I was talking with Bob and his wife and they thought the bushes would be a good idea. I was gonna buy them for them and put them out, and Julie said his wife Julie said they wanted to pick them because they had certain bushes they wanted to pick out. But those are the ones I was thinking. They grow tall, they grow fast. The Ramoses have actually put some next to their deck to kind of block their view of our house before this was even a thing, because as we've talked before, it's understandable. Their deck looks right at our house and my backyard,
You're correct. We're pretty much in your yard.
So
Yeah, and that is.
we are okay with each other being neighbors, you want your privacy still, so.
Yes, we're neighborly, but there is a screen on the railing of our deck, and we put those in during
Yeah,
COVID,
that's
so
right.
they've been growing for 5 years,
And
and they're still not of a size that will block the view.
No, they're not.
And I selected those because they were very fast growing based on recommendations from my gardening friends, so I appreciate that effort of trying to block the view.
That's fine.
But- Yeah.
That's where I was going with that. Basically, maybe there's other ones, but, to the point, the house directly across the street from me, it has a 4-car attached garage, so there is a little bit of variation in sizes.
What would stop you from doing another attached?
I thought about that when he brought it up. It's a good idea. Again, I have 3 extra vehicles, so there's a 2-car garage. So I already have 3 that would fill my garage. And then I need 3 more, and that still leaves, well, my kids are home, 1 outside. So I went with 3 to make sure I had room for 2 of them are heirlooms, family heirloom vehicles that I inherited. So I need those. Those are the main 2 I'd like to get in the garage. So, and then the gray one in the picture here, this is my newest truck, and it's been sitting outside since I bought it. And this building, my current garage is not deep enough for it to park in. So this
And-
building is depth, is to make that truck be able to park inside.
And this is neither here nor there, I'm just kind of
No, that's
throwing
fine.
it. With your heirloom vehicles, would they be safe in, for instance, a storage unit?
That's where they are currently right now, and
Okay,
I like
so-
to have them at home so I can work on them. They need a little bit of work to be done yet, and sitting in storage, I know what I'm okay to do in the storage, and it's out of my time to go there and then come back. I also work full-time jobs, so if it's at home, I can just go out in the shop and.
Right, yeah.
This isn't part of the zoning request, but you also have, and I had all of these things also, a trailer and an RV and
Right.
all of that.
Again, that goes back to Bob stating if I added a car garage, I'd have the concrete there already, but nothing in the zoning doesn't allow me to park my camper, so if I put my garage there, now I have to add concrete to park my camper next to the house again, so.
I mean, I hate to tell you, Clinton, that's when I had to move to a different house, because I couldn't do it all on the cul-de-sac. Yeah, it's just too many items. I won't say toys, but that's what I told my husband, too many toys.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I've got, 5 cars at my place, and yeah, I've got to kind of maneuver with that too. I get it, but,
And if you flip-flopped it and had the single car and then the double car, you couldn't drive a car into it.
In the addition,
If Bob said he would, if, he would think, we would think, and again, that's not what's presented to us, but less,
Well, this, on the addition, a single card on the left and a double on the right. Yeah, it doesn't really change it much. The reason I went single on the back,
you could move it over farther towards and not block the front of their house.
oh, I mean, I could go closer to the house, yeah, I got 6 more feet to play with, and there's, as you can see, my house doesn't necessarily have a setback. The reason I went with the single on the right is the 30-foot setback, which is in this picture here. Comes around right here, so in order to stay behind that, this one would have to be 24 foot, and then I could go up to the 30-foot feet, which would allow, but I'd still stay behind that 30-foot setback.
But on that, on that drawing, show me where you would propose putting concrete.
Yeah, it's about 10 foot from here and then angled over to the park.
Okay, I misunderstood you earlier, I thought you said 2 feet, I was thinking of a 2-foot square like this. No. Got it. I understand now, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
Can I speak again?
Yes, please.
I think I kind of forgot a point, but
Oh.
maybe there's a misunderstanding with Clinton when we talked, but, you know, we were saying, well, we don't want you to do the bushes. We would, you know, we would want to have a say because they'd have to be something tall enough and grow fast enough that they would
Sure.
somehow cover the building. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is that the zoning code also has a stipulation about the maximum amount of accessory structures that are allowed as a percentage of the lot.
Right,
And I think I sent that to you.
you did.
And that lot is, I can't remember how many square feet it is, but, you know, 10% is the max allowed. So he also has a pool there, he also has a patio and stuff, and so, you know, potentially, he's got some other accessory structures that might be around 600 square feet. So the result, it might be that he wouldn't even be allowed to build more than maybe 700 square feet, not 960, because of the other structures he has on the property.
So where is the pool in this backyard? It must be a movable
Sorry.
pool?
It's above ground, it's right, it's not on the
Corner?
pictures, it's right where the swing set is.
Okay.
Talking to Tim, he was saying it was a 10-foot green space, or 10% green space, and this concrete's not gonna take me down to that far.
I asked that question also today, it's a 20% green space,
20% green
but
space.
it's 10% of the lot size can be in accessory
Correct.
buildings.
Okay, but, thank you for correcting that. Like I said, there is another one, another point to bring up again. Yes, our cul-de-sac is, these are two-car garages over here. This house right here actually has an accessory structure within 10 feet of its house. And then another garage next to it within 10 feet of that one. And then there's another one over here that has an accessory one attached directly, that's within 5 feet. So I don't think I'm out too far outside, and I'm not gonna build this too exact. It's gonna be the same kind of building structure as my house, so it'll fit in with everything else in the area. In my opinion, I guess.
What about the levels of the buildings, Ron? You're talking about things being comparable, but we've already heard that your neighbors have a perspective of your property that maybe is different than others, or?
Yes, they do. They're obviously, I feel sorry for Bob, that's his house.
Uh-huh.
But if you can see here, you know, I mean, I don't know what his drawing is, I didn't see what he turned to you guys. He still has a clear view. I'm staying back behind my 30-foot setback that is required. I feel sorry for the Ramses also, they're up above me.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, I moved in, right? You guys were there. Actually, both of you guys are dealing with me. I'm going to dig in, so really the back part to them, the walls. The above ground is only gonna be, hang on, I gotta do the math real quick. 8 foot tall, and then the 8-foot ceiling, so it'll be lower than the top of my regular house. And shingled inside at the same dimension.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the trailer in the pictures yours too? So is the concrete slab gonna be included big enough to include that trailer? Cause I know the code says the trailers have to be on concrete
Yes, it will
pavers.
actually, I can go back to that picture again. this, it'll still fit where it is, or here, the concrete allows for. That's one thing I was worried about, making sure I had concrete for the camper to still park there, and me still be able to park my truck in the garage, because the truck pulls the camper. So if I can't get the truck out of the garage, then what's the point of having it, right?
So, and again, I mean, I having, for instance, even the camper in a storage, I know Linden Storage has got several campers and boats and all that right here in town. I'm just trying to look at some ways to help, you know.
I know, we race, so we've got cars
Yeah.
and we had to put stuff in storage. I got 3 teenage
It's-
drivers.
Again, so our storage unit that we have right now is almost $400 a month.
Yeah.
The camper one would be another 50 to 100, I think. They're like maybe 70 right now, my brother, yeah,
Yeah,
at
the joys
Linden.
of having toys.
Because we have a 40-foot deep storage for 2 trucks to be in there, so.
I know I have a storage unit just for things like this too, and mine's only like 200 a
What?
month, so. No, like I said, I'm just looking for alternatives to help and.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to stay in storage, and I don't love creating that, but I also, you brought up moving to a different place.
That's what I had
My
too.
wife has told me to stop looking at houses. So we like Indianola, we like our neighborhood, the neighbors are real nice, unless you ask for a variance, I'm sorry, just kidding.
No, we said they decide and we'll still be.
Exactly, right, we're still good. I still have good neighbors.
With our
good to
opinions
know.
and walk out of here
Yes.
with
The
whatever
last thing
we
we
all
want to,
decide.
And,
the
yeah.
last thing we want to do as Board of Adjustments is
And I
to
still,
create a rift between neighbors. I mean,
either way, I will still work with them to make sure it's best for their view. I just am trying to, we got the house for a really good deal back in 2015. We've lived there, we love Indianola, we don't really want to move out of Indianola, our families grew up here, they like it. And that's just the house we grew up in, and to move right now, interest rates are terrible, house prices are
Gotten better,
ridiculous.
just
They're coming,
saying.
yeah, better.
Keep my thumb on that, they've
Right,
gotten better.
exactly.
Real estate person.
So, besides making another financial burden for my family, we're already here, we're established and everything, so that's kind of where that's at.
It feels to me that an extenuating circumstance is that you're on a cul-de-sac as well. That if this were more straightforward, some of this might have taken care of itself, but it feels as though it's compounded the situation instead.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because I have 2 neighbors that have a lot of view.
Well, I'm not sure it's a cul-de-sac or if it's a corner lot. I mean, you have a corner lot situation, so you have a setback, which any corner lot has that
Right.
situation.
I have 2
You have a
setbacks, yeah.
setback on both sides, but, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
This
good
is a
one.
tough one.
This is
Yeah, it
very
really
difficult.
is.
And we, by all means, would like to find a win-win situation here.
Right.
And we really appreciate the civil approach that you all have taken. on this.
Absolutely, you guys
I have to
have
tell you that.
so nice.
We don't always encounter that, and so we're celebrating that and doing little dances behind the
We're
desk.
all still gonna
Right.
be in the
Like
neighborhood
that
after
part anyway.
this, so.
But nonetheless, we'd like to have everybody happy as well, and I'm not sure, I mean, it feels as though there's some challenges here.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, please.
I guess I'll formally introduce myself. Bryce Johnson, Director of Community and Economic Development, City of Indianola. I do want to bring to the board's attention something to prove a hardship, and I really want to focus on the self-imposed. What's really causing this root issue is that he wants it to have larger than an accessory structure is allowed. He could reduce that to comply with our zoning code. And I think there's a great point about setting precedents of what other people could do in the neighborhood if this precedent is allowed.
Yes,
Just putting that out there, not in any which way, but
I appreciate that, but I also believe what I heard was that there have been precedents already
I
set.
did look up, and there was one was in 2002, the second building was added to. And one of the things that I know we have always said is whatever we're stating, it's not setting precedent. So things happen, but not, just because somebody else
yes.
is not necessarily
Yep.
there.
Right,
Yep.
so thank you.
Yeah. And welcome to Indianola.
Thank you.
This is his first meeting. Call the question?
I am ready to call the question.
I'm sorry, motion to decline the variance, either one of the variance requests.
In a former meeting, like before we get into that any further, you may remember, we talked about a
Has to be.
motion where would the
Oh, we have to
motion
be
be
positive.
in the
Yes.
positive, in the affirmative?
Affirmative, yes.
So can you it's easy to reword it, you just state it as positive, and then we, just if we
Oh, I'll
agree
go
with your
against it.
perspective, then we vote against it.
I vote to approve the variance as stated in the minutes.
Second?
Move or vote?
Approve the variance, approve the variance.
I
Approve the
will
variance.
second the
That's approving
motion.
it.
No,
I know,
understand,
because this is,
have patience with us, okay?
it's, we have to make it
I got you,
positive.
We're not trying-
I understand, I
We're
understand,
talking
I
positive.
understand.
You know, we've been through this
I
kind
was
of.
on P and Z, I know the drill.
Okay, thank you. I didn't want, you had a look of panic on your face there
No.
for just a second.
Been a
We
while since
understand
I've
why.
sat in this side of the aisle.
We've been through this discussion
Yeah.
before. There's been a second and therefore a call for the vote.
Okay, Whalen,
No,
Solwich,
No.
Bash,
No?
and Hoover.
No.
At which point, I believe, is there some variation on this that we want to look at or make a recommendation at all? I mean, for instance, we heard discussion about some sort of a compromise or,
I think we just bring it back to community development and
Well, yeah, I-
Can we ask one question?
of course.
So, I mean, so he shared those two plans with you. So the one plan is within compliance, but we would ask for some sort of concrete ability to be able to reach it. But then we would just build that smaller one.
Like he was just offering out there. Is that ability, like, when I was talking to Tim, he's like, he said that was fine, but I guess I just want to bring it to them, to what your thought, like, does this mean I can't build anything on the land? Or does this mean I just can't meet my variations that were questioned?
My thoughts are, and correct me if I'm wrong or speaking not correctly, to be able to put together a plan that would work within code. If that second plan that you kind of put together is that, do we need to have that resubmitted to bring to community
It's a
development?
variance.
Or, I mean, to have that portion of it be maybe an approved to keep it smaller, so that might be our compromise?
if a new plan were to meet the ordinance, the zoning ordinance, and I'm not sure how much concrete would be needed, that's kind of.
Right. Is,
That's something they need
Yeah.
to work with Tim with the new
Right,
code and
right.
make sure they're all within.
because and I'm sure you guys are on the same page too, we wanna come together and help you too, you know, we don't wanna just say,
Yeah, we're not
Forget
going to
it.
close anything down. That's why I
We want
want to
everything
continue
to
this
be-
conversation.
He just needs to work with Bill on it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think just to clarify, my proposal I meant, it would allow the variance for number one, because of the setback issue, it would deny the extra concrete, the second variance. That would allow him to build a one-stall garage attached to the garage, and he already has concrete access to it where the RVs park, so he wouldn't need a variance to put more concrete, because he's got concrete that would meet this new garage. So it would
would
work for him.
that
It
be
would functional.
enough though? Would that be enough space for him though? It
And
doesn't
I still
sound
need to
like
store
it.
my camper on concrete.
So I guess what we would propose is for you to re-examine this and see if we can come up with something that provides you with greater satisfaction than just being denied, but that will at the same time perhaps satisfy that it's closer to a compromise rather than just the way you've asked for it now.
Yep. This just means you can't build that.
That's what I was saying, like,
Right.
and that's what she was asking.
Right.
That, yeah, I can't go within 10 foot and I My concrete that's there is not approved, that's what's also
Right.
kind of
So,
confuses me.
so, we're clearly not trying to shut you down, but we're at the same time mindful of the fact that what you have right now exceeds, I think, what we would consider to be a reasonable solution. But there's probably something in between there that would be a reasonable solution that we would be happy to approve if you can come up with it.
And because this got turned down, I need to bring the next plans back to the committee.
No.
Even if they stay within the,
No, if you bring something back that's within the ordinance, within the setbacks, whatever, we would just approve that internally.
Okay.
The board would only approve something if you're looking for
looking for
something
another
that,
variance like that's what.
Exactly.
that varies from what the ordinance allows. So I'm not sure if that's concrete in the future, but if the building were smaller, 10 feet away from the house and has those 5-foot setbacks, then it just gets approved upstairs instead of coming back to a board.
That answers my questions, I just wondered.
Okay, good. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none. I believe that's all of our business for this evening, so I'll call for,
I have two quick things. Bryce beat me to it, but I wanted to introduce Bryce Johnson as our new community and economic.
welcome.
Thank you.
He's been with us for about a week now. We used to work together. He worked for the city of Pella when I was with the city of Knoxville. And then when I was with the city of Waukee, he was on my board of adjustment. So we've known each other for quite a long time, and it's good having him on board. He's a good guy.
Good,
Nice to meet
Meet you all.
welcome, welcome.
Thank you for your civic.
Well, and thank you for your input tonight too, we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
He's smart. He's smarter than I.
We liked you though.
The second thing, remember after the last meeting, we were talking with the one woman who had her variance approved, Sue Edwards, with the shed on the adjacent lot. Well, she applied to be the 5th member of the Board of Adjustment. So we're waiting for her to
Nice.
hopefully get council approval, and all things go well, she'll be at the November meeting, which we do have an application already in. So you'll be getting that information in the next few weeks. So November 5th will be the next meeting, so.
Good.
I can tell you I will not be here for that one, so I'm just sharing that with all of you so that you maybe can circle that date.
Okay.
Sounds
Okay.
good. But that's all I have.
All right,
Thank you,
Awesome.
Bill.
call for a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn our meeting.
Second.
second it.
Thank you. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.